Dirtbag and Groundchuck Origins, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Inside the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, Dirtbag and Groundchuck are minor enemies. Although their origins vary from incarnation to incarnation, they are always presented as monstrous bull and a mole that confront the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Who the heck are you guys?
I'm Groundchuck, and this here's my little buddy Dirtbag.
Groundchuck was played by the deceased Bob Ridgely in the classic 1987 cartoon series, while Dirtbag was played by Pat Fraley, who previously voiced multiple characters like Baxter Stockman, Krang, Slash, and Antrax, and several more. Groundchuck and Dirtbag, like Tokka and Rahzar, Bebop and Rocksteady, and Dogpound, who later become Rahzar and Fishface, work together trying to destroy the Turtles. Groundchuck, who is a deformed bull, and his partner Dirtbag, a mutated mole, first appear in the episode Planet of the Turtleoids, when they temporarily collaborated with the Shredder before setting out on their own to wipe out the Turtles and get wealthy. The villains of the 1990s either sought money or world dominance, and based on their appearances, these two appear to seek the former. But before we get too deep into our explanation, we do have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Dirtbag and Groundchuck Origins, the first time on television, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1987. Planet of the Turtleoids goes into great depth of the origins of these frightening baddies. Our story starts with our heroes walking down the street in fedoras and trench coats looking for an all-night pizza place when they come up upon Tattoo, a sumo wrestler, sneaking into a pet store and mumbling something about searching for home. However, as the Ninja Turtles attempt to manage the enormous wrestler, he electrocutes himself and changes into a hamster, rapidly walking into an enclosure with other hamsters. Donatello deduces that this may be the handiwork of Krang and Shredder, and that the lethal team is tampering with the mutagen once again. Donatello analyzes the situation at the pet store and wonders whether they all would be better off if they were still regular turtles. Elsewhere, Shredder and Krang are actually playing with the mutagen, preparing to generate some more mutants in order to get into a museum full of artifacts and steal a massive ruby. The villains aim to use the gem to redirect Krang's new heat ray, allowing them to ultimately escape the Technodrome. Back in the lair, Donatello is feeling the consequences of being ostracized by human society as a whole, and he wonders whether there is a sanctuary where all the turtles can be welcomed for who they are. Later that night, in the City Wild Animal Park, the evil Shredder directs Bebop and Rocksteady to kidnap one lion and one gorilla in order to prepare for mutation. Elsewhere, while wallowing his grief in a root beer drink and regretting his position at Channel 6 News in relation to April, Vernon comes upon a human-like turtle named Kerma, dressed in a trench coat and hat, and rushes shrieking into the night. Kerma, who is perplexed by this, comes to the City Wild Animal Park and releases Shredder's gorilla and lion before they can be transformed, but a bull and a mole get altered as a result of Bebop and Rocksteady's incompetence. Shredder determines that now these two new monsters would have to do and equips them with outfits. Meanwhile, Vernon informs April about his experience with what he thinks is one of the turtles, but the turtle he encountered was 3 feet tall. April is certain Vernon did not encounter a ninja turtle and contacts them. Groundchuck and Dirtbag now have given themselves new names at the zoo. Shredder instructs them to seize the massive ruby at the museum, but the two would much rather smash apart the zoo. The turtles visit April, Vernon, and Irma at the news station, where Michelangelo reveals that Vernon did not witness anything. Raphael, on the other hand, is worried that someone is stealing their style, so the turtles head out to investigate. When the turtles depart the Channel 6 building, they are met not only by Dirtbag and Groundchuck, who seem eager for the confrontation, but also by Kerma, who arrests all 6 of them and transports them to a spaceship, which is constructed to resemble the Chrysler building. By the time April comes out on the streets with her mini camera, however, the Chrysler rocket ship has vanished. Kerma reveals during the voyage back to his homeworld that he and his companion Turtleoids had an issue, and he was looking for guidance from ordinary Earth folks. Unfortunately, he had no knowledge that Groundchuck and Dirtbag were not people, and he mistook the turtles for humans since they had honest faces. In the meantime, Bebop and Rocksteady abduct April and her Turtlecom and take her to the City Wild Animal Park to meet Shredder and Krang. Shredder is informed by Rocksteady that the turtles haven't yet replied to the Turtlecom signal, and Bebop speculates that the turtles may have vanished. Meanwhile, the turtles arrive together with Dirtbag and Groundchuck on the planet Shell-Rila. Donatello is overjoyed. This is precisely what he imagined in the opening act, a society where turtles can enjoy life. Meanwhile, at the Technodrome, the villainous Shredder proclaims that he will develop a highly clever and completely impenetrable machine to pull off his new plan, confident that now the turtles are gone and admitting defeat in the enormous ruby heist. The turtles witness one of the several alchemical machines of the Turtleoids on Shell-Rila, the ones that transform lead into gold, and as Kerma reveals to the turtles, light reflected from gold gives the Turtleoids energy in the same way that food does. Groundchuck and Dirtbag flee before even the turtles can finish their holiday. Meanwhile, April escapes, and Shredder has finished his new robot, Chrome Dome, which soon catches April. As Kerma transports the turtles to Shell-Rulah's council chambers, they are greeted by the Turtleoids' minor issue, a gigantic two-headed dragon, Herman the Horrible, who recruits Dirtbag and Groundchuck to smash the power supply to the Force Dome protection, exposing the city. The Turtleoids charge the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of damage and imprison them. Despite this, Donatello likes Shell-Rulah for representing a turtle's paradise. Although Michelangelo claims that Shell-Rulah lacks the things that the turtles enjoy on Earth, including rock and roll, computer games, or pizza, and Raphael adds that actually the Turtleoids have proved to be just as prejudiced against the TMNT as humans have. Leonardo believes that they must flee and battle the two-headed beast, Herman the Horrible, and everyone agrees. Kerma assists the TMNT in their escape by providing them the normal Turtleoid gear. Donatello observes the irony as he dons a Turtleoid robe. He did not appreciate sneaking about disguised on Earth, a human world, but now they were on a Turtleoid planet and he had to sneak about disguised here too. The Turtles make the decision to put an end to Herman the Horrible's tyrannical rule once and for all. Donatello shoots Herman with a pulverizer ray, and when Leonardo realizes Herman is nothing more than a machine. Herman the Horrible is eventually shown to be two greedy Turtleoid commanders who are tired of merely utilizing gold for fuel and actually want golden things. They tried to destabilize Shell-Rulah's foundations. The Turtle Kids decide to return home after catching Shredder's mutants as well, but are praised by Kerma for protecting Shell-Rulah and suggested that he may come see them one day. Meanwhile, Shredder's freshly built Chrome Dome commands a legion of foot soldiers in the construction of the mini Technodrome, a miniature counterpart of the main Technodrome. When the Turtles return, they demolish a brand new Technodrome and the Chrome Dome. Raphael said that Donatello would have to abandon Shell-Rulah, but Don says he's pleased to be back on Earth because Shell-Rulah had no computer games and worse, no pizza. Groundchuck is always bang on target when it comes to pleasing Shredder. The Foot Clan's preferred hoofed hoodlum is this mutant weapons specialist. When it comes to chopping up the turtles, Groundchuck is grade A. He is chunky and muscular. Groundchuck is a notch above the rest, driving the teens past their limits using his electrical prod and also turtle tying crossbow. When Groundchuck pulls out his tranquilizer dart wrist pistol, it's game over for our half-shelled superheroes. The turtles are all fair game when this horned hoodlum declares open season. Dirtbag is a mutated mole that first appeared in the Planet of the Turtleoids cartoon episode in the first part. In the 2003 and 2012 TMNT, the characters received no backstory or significant roles. In IDW Comic Issue 125, Chuck is a mutant Red Bull with a missing left eye and steel right horn. His arms seem to have had a skin graft and he wears a blue-colored loincloth. While his right leg is wrapped in bandages and a knee pad, he has bolts protruding out of his left shoulder and metal plating on the left side of his upper chest and also his right shoulder, wrist, and ankle. Dirtbag, or DB, is a naked mole. He has bolts protruding from the back side of his head, and his right foot and hand look to have received skin grafts. This is their first appearance and debut in the comic books. They are both mutants who work for Jasper Barlow, who is a mutant mouse from Mutant Tau, who owns a cosmic surgery business where he alters mutants' bodies to make them look more like humans.
Ooh, I prefer traveling first class.
Where else have they appeared? Dirtbag initially appears as the 4th level boss in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3, The Manhattan Project. He then features as a second boss in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Radical Rescue, and later makes a return in the final level. He also debuted as the 4th boss in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Shredder's Last Stand, and subsequently returns in the final level. Dirtbag appears as the boss of Episode 4, Rumble in the Zoo, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, with Groundchuck. Groundchuck is a cybernetic mutant bull working for the Foot Clan. In the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project, he serves as a second boss. Groundchuck has fought on Baron von Spleen's battle barge, a submarine. He appears from a door at the conclusion of the stage and begins fighting the turtles. Groundchuck fights using running kicks and head charges, and he exposes himself to combat by dashing into the screen's sides. After receiving some damage, he will stroll over towards a wall and rip a piece of pipe from it, adding a brutal swing from that pipe to his assault routine. Groundchuck and Dirtbag were meant to be the next Rocksteady and Bebop, but somehow that never happened. These two villains had extremely interesting backstories and had the potential to be great supervillains, but that potential was never fulfilled. Even so, we can always hope that they appear in a future film or comic book and play a bigger role. And as always, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thank you, everyone.
I'd rather just rip this place apart. Come on, Dirtbag.